So, Mom Coco's.
Am I looking at the camera or at you?
I think at the camera, if anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
You it works out.
Or whatever, either way.
That's how they do it with us.
I can be near the camera. Yeah, you can look at me. So, Mama Coco's, what does it mean to you?
So, Mama Coco's is the place where I got back into music myself. At my personal intersection with it has to do with having put music aside. That's something that was, to say part of my life wouldn't really do it justice. I wanted to do it when I was younger, and I did it for a while, and then left it behind. And in Mama Coco's, I found people to collaborate with, an excitement pervading the air, a sense of shared commitment to something, which is unlike practically anything I've been involved with. So the sense that something is being done together, and that something is being done together that doesn't have a hefty price tag. You're not going to get into Harvard because of the work you do here. You're not going to necessarily become a millionaire. In fact, in Mama Coco's it says, what's the line? When the money runs out. I have to sing the whole song to get the lyric.
When money's tight.
When money's tight, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have music.
Yeah, and there's definitely been a sense of we're building something together, and so on one hand you've got the end result. You have exhilarating music, and it's coming from many, many quarters, and it's incredibly diverse, the stuff that's coming out of the community. On the other hand, you have dozens and dozens of people, maybe now hundreds of people, who are involved in something, who are doing something together, and that is huge. I remember when I was in college, the sense of frustration that it was impossible to get people to come out and protest the war. You get 5 people. To get somebody to commit to an artistic project that was longer than a quick fix. So you get something if you promise them a starring role in 2 weeks. But this is so far beyond that. You know, the people that I've gotten to know over years now, human beings derive energy, crucial energy, from a sense of community. So probably that's the most important aspect to me, is to see, I don't know how many people, I don't want to guess, but I don't know how many of the people who are all mostly in their early 20s, but then, there's a range, who would have had this kind of ability to stick with something had it not been for that community. And now they can take that, and that will generalize to their life. So a portion of people are going to stay with music forever. Some people, it's all they can do. But everybody has learned that you can passionately engage yourself in something. You can find people that will work on it with you, and you can become something greater than the sum of the parts. So greater than sum of the parts, and a generalizable lesson to your life. That's what I would say.
So how would you describe the Mom Coco's community?
Oh, ragtag bunch of not ne'er-do-well.
What are my question's not going to be in it.
Right.
So you got to say the Mom Coco's community. You know what I mean? Yeah. Jack, get out of the frame.
Mama Coco's community is a community of musicians, and artists, and just people who, in the moment, are caught up in this sea of passion and this shared endeavor. They're mostly young. They're trying to figure out what their lives are going to be like. I mean, this is my perspective because I know kind of what my life is like. It's 20 years later. But seeing people at that stage of trying to form, their sense of what a community can do and who they are in relation to a community. That's the most dramatic thing. I mean, I've met, that's my neck. I love you.
She nipping you a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. But that's the thing, is like, don't kiss me.
Is she actually biting?
She's trying to clean you.
She's grooming you, yeah. It's actually, she's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
She does it to me all the time, just nibbles around me.
About being killed.
No, you won't be killed.
Okay, don't do that to my neck. You're really sweet. I really like you. But the claws I don't mind at all, but the beak on my neck makes me nervous. Musicians, and they play all kinds of different instruments, and some people are probably into forms of music that I've never heard of. Some people are into forms of music that I listen to all the time, and I've learned a lot in that respect too. Some people practice incessantly, practice all the time. Some people are very educated in music. Some people are as punk as you can be in the sense that they, even if they were educated, it's not the point. And some people are changing. Some people I see evolving. I hear evolving. I've seen bands that were filled with spirit, full of passion, and who get a great sound, but it was a very specific thing. And I've seen another thing that the community does is emboldens people to take risks artistically that they would never take in a million years if they were in some isolated little pocket thinking about how they could possibly break through to this or that audience. I know because when I was trying to do it alone and I was trusting the internet, I just got the sense that everybody was trying to sell me something and nobody was honest and nobody could be trusted. And in the sense of already artistic despair is going to just be worse with that kind of sense of disempowerment. So I see transformative things happen all the time. I see kids that I think are this close to giving up, and then I know that 2 years later, and they're as excited as they ever were, and there's something very new that they're working on and pushing themselves towards. I was playing with the Lewinsky's the other day, and they've evolved in tremendous ways as individual players and in their aesthetic and what they're willing to try. And people are collaborating with each other. There's all kinds of networks going on like that, and it's an amorphous, changing, organic, but not in the sense of like no pesticides. There are pesticides, but it is it's definitely hard to define and hard to pin down, as it should be. But it's very, very good. It really is very, very good.
So what do you think can be achieved if we raise some money right now? Where can we push this thing?
Well, so what can be achieved if we can raise the money to create a studio space for Mama Coco's that's on another order of magnitude? Already, and I think this was probably true even when Oliver was working in his basement, the recordings and the projects are at a very high level. And I believe that's simply because they get lavished with love and respect that you just don't get. I've had experiences dealing with professional studios, and they may have the $20,000 compressor and the outrageous this or that, but there's no love. They don't give a fuck about what you're doing. And I've never seen Oliver have even a moment of not giving a fuck. I don't think he's constitutional. I sometimes wish that he would not give a fuck quite so much at certain times so that he could relax a little more and get more sleep, because I'm always telling my friends they should get more sleep. But he's incapable constitutionally of not giving a fuck. So what happens is you wind up with every project is nurtured from a very personal place. Every single thing speaks. And what has happened is I've seen the recordings go from the basement to this space across from Greenwood Cemetery, and I've seen new equipment come in, and there are new sonic possibilities, and Oliver's palette in the artistic collaborative way that he's involved just expands. He can do more things, he can offer the bands more things, and that's just going to continue. So if there's someone who knows how to spend money on exactly how it should be spent to make a recording studio, it's Oliver. This money is not going to go to the thing that you're supposed to have, unless the thing that you're supposed to have also happens to be the thing that you really should have. It's not going to go into bullshit. It's going to go into things that directly benefit the artistic labors of people, And I would imagine that as the recordings continue to get better, that will feed back into the motivation and inspiration of the artists, and keep that going.
Let's see, what else can I ask you?
Might have already said everything.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered it.
Yeah, I think that's good.
You want
Does
to?
the bird actually like to be pet?
Oh yeah, she loves it. Give her a little pet, she'll love it.
You're sweet.
Yeah. So why don't you say who you are?
So I'm Henry Kandel. I'm the baritone saxophone player for Ghost Pal. Oliver and I met when he was in my math class at St. Anne's School in Brooklyn Heights, and we talked almost entirely about music and a little bit about Buddhism. And he introduced me to some wonderful recordings that I hadn't heard because I'd been kind of out of it for years. And some of them were his own, and I was impressed partly by the level of artistry, but probably even more by the level of soul. And it inspired me to go back to my own work as a songwriter and try to do what I had done when I was younger, which is make songs and make recordings. And I dusted off some of the instruments, got the saxophone back in working order, and now I practice relentlessly and sound really good. And
Who are some of the people you've appeared on? You've appeared on many people's records, right? In the collective.
Yes, I've played a lot with mostly with Ghost Pal, and I definitely make a Ghost Pal plug right now. You should check out the Ghost Pal repertoire. It's available on Bandcamp.
You can't anymore. Only 12 songs.
Only 12 songs, but they are the 12 songs that were selected by the fans.
Yes.
And there will be a new record coming out, which will be recorded in this studio space.
The new studio.
And it will be. I don't want to waste any adjectives on it. I'm desperately looking forward to working on this record, and I've also done a lot of work with the Harmonica Lewinsky's, whom I love, and we're now playing. We're gearing up for an event in a month from now, and learning a lot of great tunes from the 50s and 60s.
So you've been on Sons of Ashes Father, right?
Yes, played a little bit with Sons. And
Great American Novel.
Great American Novel. I'm interested in trying to blend the baritone saxophone with the didgeridoo, and to create some kinds of sonic textures that haven't been explored, and do things where people would listen to a Ghost Pal record and say, "I love that very strange sound that's going on, rumbling down there, but what is it?" So I would love to be the baritone saxophone player whose sound is not immediately recognizable as a baritone saxophone.
Right on.